Seahawks Today coming up in just a few moments from right now on a Victory Tuesday. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you guys are following me on Twitter and Instagram, as well as Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. And here is what I want to do. I tweeted out on Twitter last night my reaction to the Seahawks getting that win. And if you guys retweet that, the first 10 people that do so, it's pinned on my Twitter profile, I am going to shout you out on tomorrow's show, and I'm going to follow you back on Twitter. But you have to retweet that video. It's on my Twitter. It's pinned right there. Retweet it, and we'll get you on the next edition of Seahawks Today. How we doing, everybody, after that one, right? Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us on this Victory Tuesday edition of Seahawks Today. We're going to be doing these overreaction shows throughout the season. Normally Overreaction Monday. Today it's obviously a Tuesday edition, but we'll be breaking down last night's game in detail and go about what this team looks like going forward after that big-time win that nobody thought was possible, and the Seahawks get that oh-so-sweet revenge on Russell Wilson. Before we get to all that, though, an update on Jamal Adams. Let's tell you the latest of what we know right now. The quad injury suffered by Adams, still waiting on the diagnosis, but we know this much, that if it is torn, then he could be out 5 to 8 months. That would mean Jamal Adams is done for the season. We don't know if it's torn or not yet, not trying to speculate or anything, but we did hear from Pete Carroll say that it was a very serious injury. Adams, his family was in the locker room with him, so we'll keep you posted. When we get more updates, we'll let you know right away, but that's what we know as of right now with Jamal Adams on the injury front, where things stand right now. The Seahawks with a great win, and I said this last night, I'll reiterate this. There are a certain crowd of folks that want this team to tank this year. But I think everyone, even those that are in the tank crowd, wanted to win last night. This was by far the most important game of the entire season for the Seattle Seahawks, was getting this win against Russell Wilson and company. And, I mean, just all the factors, the way Geno Smith played, right? I mean, Geno Smith outplayed Russell Wilson. More on that in just a moment. The defense getting the 2 goal line stand fumbles, the 64-yard field goal that was missed, and the decision by Denver to not send the offense out there. Just all those different factors. It felt like a movie last night, didn't it? I mean, the Hollywood ending for the Seattle Seahawks to get it done in Russell Wilson's return week 1 to open up the NFL season. And, I mean, at the end of the day, the Seahawks got the last laugh, right? I mean, really, they did. And so, with that, I figured this would be a perfect way to open up today's show. I want you to, ironically, comment "Let's Ride" in the comment section. Seahawks fans, you deserve this moment. You deserve all of this here. So, get the "Let's Rides" going in the comment section. Maybe you do a "Let's Fly." Maybe you do a "let's kick it." I don't know. I mean, get creative in the comment section of a little salt in the wound for those donkeys. I'm very curious what you guys come up with there. So let's go over the overreactions for the Seahawks now. We begin with Geno Smith, and Geno Smith last night, he was that dude, right? I mean, the numbers for Geno Smith, 23 of 28, 195 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And, you know, the saying goes, stats are for losers, scoreboards for winners. And even with as good as the numbers were for Geno Smith, the most important thing was that he led the Seahawks to victory, right? 17-16, the final score there. And for Geno Smith, as far as him as a quarterback here, what have we been saying the last several weeks with Geno Smith? That all you were asking for is him to be a game manager, not to make mistakes. But Geno Smith did take that a step further. He didn't make mistakes, but he made plays. He made plays for this Seahawks team. And I think one of the reasons why you're going to see Geno Smith over Drew Lock, at least for a while anyway, is that Geno Smith showed an ability to take care of the football. He wasn't going to lose you this game. And going forward with this Seahawks team, that's what you continue to want to see out of Geno Smith, is to limit those mistakes and not cost his team the ball game here. That's what the Seahawks coaching staff saw in Geno Smith this offseason and why he earned the starting job. And he showed why he is that guy for Seattle right now. So where's your confidence level in Geno Smith going forward right now? If you had to scale it 1 through 10, let me know in the comment section where things are at. It had to go up, right? I mean, even if you were a Geno Smith believer to the fullest extent, it still had to go up another notch, right? My confidence in Geno went way up. How about you? Let us know in the comment section. Scale it 1 to 10 in the comment section. Let me know where your confidence level for Geno stands right now. So now the question becomes with the Seahawks after that win against a Denver team that had high hopes entering this year. Are the Seahawks a playoff team? Is that possible? Well, let's take a look at the NFC West standings. Look at that. Who's in first place? That's the Seattle Seahawks with a 1-0 record. The only team in the AFC West to win a game this weekend. Rams lost to the Bills. 49ers ended up losing to the Bears, and the Cardinals lost to the Kansas City Chiefs at home. So the Seahawks lead the standings for now. And what did we hear Pete Carroll say, what was it, a week or two ago? He expects this team to win 10 games or more. There's a long ways to go, but I can tell you this much. The Seahawks are going to fight every week. I don't think they're winning the division. I don't think they're a playoff team. But they're not going to go down without a fight. This team is going to be swinging. I mean, they're going to have that big dick energy all season long. We're going to see that from this Seahawks team. I think that was shown on Monday night that that's what this team is going to do going forward. It's going to be an interesting season. Look, I know that, there will be some bumps along the way. There will be some peaks and valleys for sure. But I think optimistically, what you take away from that as far as contention goes is that this Seahawks team, the effort's going to be there. You're going to want to root for these guys and be invested in them. We'll see what the results may be, but this team's not going down without a fight. I can promise you that much. Today's show is presented by BetUS, and BetUS is offering a great deal just for Seahawks Today viewers. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, use the promo code Seahawks125. They'll give you a 125% deposit bonus. You put $100 down, you can get $125 to spend for free. And speaking of those NFC West odds, well, even though the Seahawks are leading the division right now, at the moment, they are still heavy underdogs in the division at plus 1,200. The Rams favored at plus 125. San Francisco at plus 150, Arizona plus 450. Still a great opportunity if the Seahawks win the division. If you want to put that money down to get a nice return on investment with that plus 1,200 odds where things stand right now. Go to chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125. Russell Wilson, who? Who? I mean, here's the thing. And this might be the very definition of overreaction. But for me, I looked at last night, watching that game, and any doubt I had that the Seahawks made the right decision in trading off Russell Wilson went away. Any doubt I had whatsoever. I mean, you look at the numbers. Geno Smith outplayed Russell Wilson. Every statistic. He was a better quarterback last night. Now here's why I think they made the right decision. Look at, you think about the money that Russ just got paid several days ago. All that money. And now the Seahawks have cap flexibility for the next several years that they wouldn't have had otherwise if they would have paid Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson was already getting paid a decent amount of money, and they didn't have the flexibility that they had when he won a Super Bowl. So now going forward, look, I don't know how long Geno's going to be your guy in Seattle, whether it's this year, next year, whatever it may be. But what you have now, whether you bring in another quarterback next year, a young quarterback, whatever it may be, now you have flexibility to build around this team. And I think, honestly, going forward, the Seahawks, their future is in better shape with having the flexibility to build around a cheaper quarterback than trying to be limited and build around Russell Wilson, quite frankly. And with all they got in return for Russell Wilson, too, in that trade, at the end of the day, the Seahawks won the trade. I think so. I felt that way before, but I was reassured of that last night with that win over Denver. Russ didn't want to be there, and the Seahawks got a whole lot in return. Now they have cap flexibility and young talent going forward. Watch out. I think the Seahawks made the right decision. What say you? Looking back now, hindsight can be 20/20, sure. But did the Seahawks make the right call trading Russell Wilson and what they got in return and the results that worked out? If so, type Y for yes. If you disagree, type in for no. Let me know in the comment section below. We had a great time on our Seahawks watch party last night here on Seahawks Today, and that's just one of the things we do on the channel. We're bringing you daily news, rumors, trades, free agency, and more, and we also do live shows each and every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Myself, producer Jeremy Chuggs, we have a great time answering your questions in real time and taking such a casual view on your Seattle Seahawks, the lighthearted side of your Seahawks team. Join us each and every Wednesday. Seahawks Today Live, that's tomorrow right here on the channel. Our watch party, we're going to do another one coming up for this Niners game this weekend. Don't miss out on any moment of Seahawks Today. Subscribe now. Be a part of what we're doing each and every day. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV. Never miss a moment. Turn on notifications as well. Last overreaction I want to get to. Let's talk about the defense. Is this an elite defense? Let's go over the statistics here. Yardage-wise, would say no, giving up 433 yards, 330 passing yards, 103 rushing yards. But that obviously doesn't tell the whole story here. I was really impressed with what this Seattle defense did. Remember, Denver was supposed to be all that in a bag of chips offensively, right? And sure, they may have gotten the yardage. Denver clearly was able to move the football. But Seattle's ability to slow down Denver from getting points when it mattered, forcing those two turnovers at the goal line, those fumbles, those were clutch moments, right? That took some balls, what they did in those moments there. And then, of course, forcing the 64-yard field goal attempt on that last-second drive. And, I mean, just everything that went into this game for Seattle. Sure, you gave up the yardage, but when push came to shove, this Seahawks defense came to play and did what they needed to do. Two names in particular, and I know there's a lot of guys that we could talk about for this Seahawks defense, but I want to focus in on two names. Let's start with Uchenna Nwosu. Came over to the Seahawks from the Los Angeles Chargers. I loved when they brought in Nwosu, and his debut was really good. 3 tackles, 2 QB hits, a sack, and he had one of those 2 forced fumbles. And Nwosu was flying around. He was really good. And then there was Cody Barton. Cody Barton had a bad preseason. Okay? I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Cody Barton struggled. But he went up a couple notches. I was really impressed with the way that Cody Barton was able to turn things around, how much he impressed from where he was at in the preseason just a couple weeks ago. He had 2 tackles for loss, a quarterback hit, a sack, and 8 tackles. Cody Barton, much improved. I hope we see more of this Cody Barton the rest of the season. If the Seahawks are going to be an elite defense, it's got to be Cody Barton playing like he did against Denver every single week. More of that. I don't want to see that preseason version of Cody Barton. What we saw Monday, that needs to be here to stay. So before we go, your chance to sound off in the comments section. What was your overreaction from the Seahawks win against the Denver Broncos? Let me know in the comments section below. Enjoy your day. Have that victory beer, whatever it may be. You deserve it, Seahawk fans. We will see you tomorrow on Seahawks Today Live here on the channel. Thanks for joining us.